Amy Hennig's new project has finally been announced, and the former Uncharted creative director is now working on a Marvel game. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Uncharted games. I made a breakdown of the Uncharted movie trailer, was it last week? So, I'm a huge fan. They're my favorite video game series of all time. And I want to be a video game writer slash director, creative director, whatever, in the future. And she's the big inspiration for me. So this is super exciting for me. I hope she has full control on this. I hope they're not limiting what she can do, forcing her to do certain things that she doesn't want to do and that would hurt the project. I hope that isn't the case. I know the Marvel comics are like almost out of business. They're like tanking at the moment, past like 10 years. They've just been doing full identity politics. That's literally all the books are right now. They're just identity politics. They're not even stories anymore. I mean, I guess technically they are stories, but it's just identity politics. It's not a superhero's journey or anything. And then, looks like Marvel Studios, the movies and TV shows and all that stuff, looks like they might be heading in that direction as well. Marvel games don't seem like that yet, so that's why I'm super excited for this. So I hope they're giving her full control, but let's get into this article from PC Gamer by Andy Chalk. It says Hennig joined Skydance Interactive in 2019 after her Star Wars project at Visceral Games fell through. In 2019, former Uncharted creative director Amy Hennig, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, I've heard both. I think it's spelled Amy Hennig, so I'll say that, Amy Hennig, teamed up with film company Skydance Media to launch a new studio that company said will shape up the future of interactive media. Now we know what they're getting up to. Skydance New Media announced today that it's teaming up with Marvel on a narrative-driven blockbuster action-adventure game. And this was yesterday. It was today when they wrote this article, but it's yesterday now. The Marvel Universe epitomizes all the action, mystery, and thrills of the pulp adventure game that I adore and lends itself perfectly to an interactive experience, Hennig said in a statement. It's an honor to be able to tell an original story with all the humanity, complexity, and humor that makes Marvel characters so enduring, and to enable our players to embody these heroes that they love. Hennig is no stranger to blockbuster licenses. Prior to joining Skydance, Hennig spent close to half a decade at Electronic Arts, heading up Visceral's ill-fated Star Wars project, codenamed Ragtag. Former EA producer Julian Beek, who worked with Hennig on Star Wars, joined her at Skydance as vice president. And earlier this year, Ragtag co-writer Todd Stashwick also joined the project. Along with an accomplished crew of directors with decades of AAA experience in action and adventure gaming, the development team on the Marvel project also includes, quote, a diverse team of creative consultants from the worlds of film, television, and comics. I find that aspect of the project somewhat less than encouraging, but hopefully it won't muddy the waters too much. I would agree with him. I believe it's him. I forgot already. Yes. I would agree. Like I mentioned earlier, the direction of the movies and TV shows and comics, they're going down the drain. See if the movies and TV shows can turn it around in the future. But that isn't encouraging for me. I hope they don't push her and the rest of the team in that direction. I hope they just let her and the rest of the team do what they want with this. So, that does kind of concern me a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect that much. So, I'm optimistic. And here's Amy Hennig's tweet. After holding our cards close to the vest for so long, we're excited to finally be able to share the news. We're having a blast working with Marvel Games on our first project at Skydance New Media, and can't wait until we share more. Excelsior. And obviously, that's Stan Lee's catchphrase. They continue by saying, Skydance's game will feature, quote, a completely original story and take on the Marvel Universe. Although no details on which particular part of the Marvel Universe the studio is grappling with were provided. A Fantastic Four game, perhaps? Maybe Alpha Flight? If it won't be Alpha Flight, in parentheses. An episodic What If series might be interesting? No. It's not going to be that. Personally, I put my money on the X-Men. That'd be interesting. But they're doing Wolverine at Insomniac. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but it would be interesting that they'd have Wolverine and this at the same time. So I'm not sure if that's going to be what it is. Maybe Fantastic Four. Maybe it's just a solo character game. It doesn't have to be a group. I could definitely see Fantastic Four if it is a group. Otherwise, I don't know. That's tough. I'm trying to think of what they would want to do now. I don't think they'd do a Captain America game now, unless they completely screwed with it. They did the Iron Man VR game, and they just did Avengers. So I could see something like Thor. Maybe they want to do a newer character that's going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I'm not necessarily sure what they want to do with that. I think an Ant-Man game would be fun, honestly. That would be a fun game. They should do an Ant-Man game. I think that could actually work with her as well, with the Uncharted comedy. I think that would work really well, actually. Maybe another Deadpool game. I think that would work really well with her. I'd be interested in those from her. But I have no idea what it could be. He continues saying lots of characters, lots of drama, plenty of Earthbound and Interstellar narrative avenues to explore, and frankly, nobody knows what the hell is going on with that bunch at any given moment anyway. It's definitely possible, but I don't know. So Hennig and company will have lots of leeway to play with. I don't know necessarily about that, but Skydance said that more information about the game will be shared, quote, when the time is right. That is the right time to share information and gameplay when the time is right. We learned that from the Cyberpunk fiasco. Yeah, I hope they give her lots of leeway, like they said here. I hope they give her room to play with, do her own thing. But I'm excited for this game, and hopefully it will be sooner rather than later. They started working on this in 2019, so they could already be a couple years along. But the fact that they're just announcing the partnership now with not many details kind of makes me feel like it's between 2 to 4 years away. That's kind of a big timetable. I'd say closer to 3 to 4 maybe. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but you want it to be as good as it can be, so you don't want to rush it. But I think she'd do best with an Ant-Man or Deadpool game. Maybe something with comedy. Something with that Uncharted comedy. I'm sure she'd do well with Fantastic Four and X-Men. But let me know what you think it is in the comments. And tell me, what do you think about this news? Are you excited for this? Are you scared? Are you cautiously optimistic? And also tell me, would you rather have seen an original IP coming from them? But thanks for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Comment, share. I have another channel called Thoughtful Outlaw Sports where I talk about basketball, baseball, football, and anything else sports related I'm interested in. So check that out, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.